Okay, today I'd like to look at the most common mistakes from my students, and perhaps this isn't exactly accurate, but certainly number one is definitely in the top 10 most common mistakes. And you'll see two mistakes in number one. He told that and he said me. Now you must recognize the difference between these two words, tell and say. There are many other mistakes with tell and say which are also very common, and speak. And if you want to know the difference in detail, please look at my video, say, tell, speak and talk. But remember, not he told that, he told me that. He told me, he told him, he told Dave that. There must be the person after tell. Unless it's a story or a lie or one of the other collocations, the nouns which collocate with tell. Now he said, and then you say what he said. He said, get out. He said, hello. He said, goodbye. But you can't, you can say he said to me. He said to me, hello. He said hello to me. But you can't use the me just here without a to. You don't need to say who was told what. You can just say he said hello. It's enough. Okay, and so remember, he told Dave that and he said hello. Maybe to Dave, maybe. But we don't have to use it. It's not necessary. Second big mistake, I think yes. We don't say that. We never ever say that. The other one is I think no. Equally wrong. Yeah, they're both wrong. I should have done that in red. It's also wrong. I think so and I don't think so. Okay? Say it to yourself 1,000 times. I think so, I don't think so. That's how we agree or disagree. We don't say I think yes or I think no. The same with I hope yes or I hope no. I hope so, I don't hope so. You just can't use this expression. Okay, I hope that you recognise the mistake in number 3 and the mistake in number 4, because number 3 and number 4 are connected. Look at number 3, I work here 10 years. What's wrong with that? This is an unfinished period of time on the timeline. If this is now, it's an unfinished period of time. What do we use for unfinished periods? I hope that you're already screaming at me, present perfect for unfinished periods. So, now you can say I've been working. In fact, I prefer I've been working. But you can use simple as well with work because it's both stative and dynamic. Same with live. So you can say I've worked here for. Try to remember the for. We don't always remember it. We don't always use it when we're speaking. But technically it should be there. I've worked here for 10 years or I've been working here for 10 years. I'll put the simple here just to make it simple. But it is possible to use continuous, and I even prefer it, if I'm honest. Same with live, because we're emphasising duration. But it's perfectly normal to use I've worked here for 10 years, because it's stative as well. You can use it in, if you think about it, you can use work in simple or continuous, even just at regular present. I work here every day, or I am working here at the moment. It's both okay. I've done it 10 years ago. Now, I hope you have a list, if you're not familiar with this grammar of past simple and present perfect. I hope you have a list of past simple words like ago, like when, like last week, or in 1990, if we know when, basically. Use not present perfect. That is both wrong. You need to say, I did it 10 years ago. I did it 10 years ago. We must use past simple if we know when. And if we use ago, it's always past simple. There are no exceptions. I did it 10 years ago. Okay? If we know when, always, always, always past simple. If we know the moment when. If it's a period of time, unfinished, present perfect. I've worked here for 10 years. This is a period. for 10 years, and it's unfinished, and that's important. This is one moment 10 years ago. Okay, number 5. I feel myself. I understand that most of my students are Russian students, and in their language, this is normal. I feel myself bad, I feel myself happy. Doesn't sound good in English. It starts to sound like you touch yourself, and of course we don't want to say that. So just get rid of myself. I feel happy, I feel sad. The same with повести себя, behave myself. We don't say I behaved myself well. We do say, in schools, teachers say behave yourselves. And they don't even say good then, they just say behave yourselves, or well. They just say behave yourselves. And it means behave yourselves well, behave yourselves in the right manner. Okay? So I behaved badly, I felt bad. Okay? Just use them in that way. Don't use the myself, the yourself, themselves. I made something bad. Maybe this is okay in some situations. Yeah, it is. You know, somebody says, did you make dinner last night? And you say, yeah, but I made something really bad. Then it's okay because you're talking about making dinner. But usually you're talking about a bad action. And actions are things which you do. Generally you make when you create something, like dinner. But here it's usually I did something bad. I did something bad, okay? You must use this do with actions. With, you know, I did a bad deed. Okay, number 7, he was so bad, man. This is very common again. This is an adjective and a noun. And before nouns, we don't use so. You can use so when it's just an adjective. The food was so bad. Full stop. That's okay. But he was such a bad man. Okay? He was such a bad man. We must have such and a because this is a singular countable noun. Okay, number 8. He's not very good or bad in. This is a preposition mistake. There are many other preposition mistakes. From the other hand instead of on the other hand. It should be on. On is the correct version. On the other hand. But students often say from. He's not very good or bad at mathematics. He's not very good or bad at science. Okay? Number 9. I hope you can see this one. But again, it's quite common. People don't make the same mistake with can. But they do with can't. And by the way, in British English, people do pronounce those two words differently. We say can and can't. I think in America they're much more similar, like can and can't. They have the same a sound. I can't do an American accent, I'm sorry, but they do have the same a sound. But in English they don't. It's can and can't. So very different aren't. The same pronunciation as my Aunt Mary or something like that. Now can and can't are both modal verbs, and like must, will, would, should, may, might, they don't have to. They don't have this to before the next verb. So I can't explain is correct. And the last one is a preposition mistake. I hope you can see that. It's not in. Always remember, have you been to Paris? Have you been to France? It's just very common again. Now, I'm going to think of some more, so I'm going to keep doing these most common mistakes. I hope they're useful, and I hope that if you've watched this video, I hope in a way that you make one of these mistakes sometimes so that you can try to stop yourself from doing it. And just keep repeating it, saying it again and again and again, and it does get easier. So please subscribe if you like, and yeah, I hope to see you all soon. Please subscribe if you've enjoyed this lesson and would like to receive more over the next few weeks. Here are some videos on phrasal verbs, auxiliary verbs, tenses, and verb forms as well, like gerunds and 2+ infinitive. Please watch them and try the quizzes below the videos, and I hope that you improve.